All throughout my life, being born and raised in Miami, Florida, I was exposed to the U.S.-Cuba political tension a lot. So I thought it would be a great idea to go there and see what it was like.
One of the major reasons we were anxious to take students to Cuba was the idea that this Cuba is in transition and that it's going to disappear at some point, and it could possibly change very rapidly, and then there would never be a possibility for people of this generation to see what Cuba was like for decades and decades.
Going to Cuba is very personal to me, and I want to show to my students, to my colleagues, an opportunity to get it as deep as we can when you immerse in other countries' culture.
I was very interested to see the political changes going on in Cuba and to experience the language.
Now that I'm studying Cuba and looking at some of the problems that have existed between Cuba and the U.S., I understand a lot more.
There were multiple experiences that were pretty eye-opening. I would say one of the coolest ones was swimming in the Bay of Pigs.
Going to the Museum of the Revolution, about the Cuban Revolution.
It's all in Spanish, but there's all these different phrases about American imperialism and American aggression.
And I had expected them to kind of showcase, the defeat of the U.S. in this battle, and it really wasn't like that.
It's interesting to see it from the other side, to see it from the Cuban side rather than our view that we've had all our lives.
It was more of a place where they remembered their Cubans that they'd lost, and I thought that spoke a lot about Cuban culture.
It was also interesting to see how the embargo affected people, because that's a really big thing that we study, like in international studies.
We were very interested in showcasing not only the touristic aspect of Cuba, but also the complexities of it now, after 50 years of being led by a one-party system, by one person.
Our hope is that they will return and that in the years that come they will have a very interesting perspective that many people would no longer have.
Even though our governments are clashing and have been for so long, that the Cuban people were very open to having Americans there, and we were always treated very well. I would go back in a heartbeat. I really would.